In the next coming few minutes, I'll be covering various aspects involved with rent and allied charges. What are quartering charges? The quartering charges comprise of license fee, that is the rent for accommodation, charges for allied services, that is water and electricity, charges for furniture, higher charges for fans, refrigerators or any equipment. These details have to be submitted to AAO for entry in his revenue ledger and the same affect recovery. Who are the paying consumers? Serving officers give payment for license fee, furniture, electricity and water. Defense civilians residing in government accommodation pay license fee, electricity and water charges. JCOs and other ranks, there is no license fee which is levied on them. However, the electric and water charges are recovered. The officers' messes, electricity and water charges are recovered. For any shops and contractors' sheds, license fee, electric and water charges are recovered. The entitlements. Certain categories of civilians are entitled rent-free accommodation. JCOs, ORs and their equivalents are entitled for free accommodation and furniture, whether married or single. All categories are liable to pay electric and water charges. Occupation return. Quarters will be handed over to the officer within stipulated time. Rent liability commences after the specified date, even if the concerned individual fails to take over the accommodation. The BSO has to inform the allotting authority if the individual fails to take over the accommodation by due date. Occupation return will be submitted earliest to commence recovery in form of IAFW 2214 alpha. Occupation return. The responsibility for submission of occupation return for single accommodation of officers' mess, unit pool JCOs or accommodation is the responsibility of mess secretary or quartermaster of the unit. Preparation of license fee bills is the responsibility of AOGE. Recovery is generally made from the pay of the officers. Bill will be sent to the pay accounts officers in case of civilians for recovery of pay bill. Rates of recovery for license fee. Recovery of license fee for the service and civilian officers and civilian subordinate has been fixed as flat rate for standard accommodation. For non-standard accommodation, license fee is fixed at flat rate by the government. License fee is fixed based on the living area of the accommodation. There are yardstick available for fixing the living area for all type of married and single accommodation. Coming to water and electric charges. The various categories wherein water charges are levied. For service personnel residing in cantonments, military areas, to be charged at 50% of prevailing rate of recovery by local Jal board at which general public lives in adjoining colonies. For defense civilians, the same is to be charged as per prevailing rate of recovery by local Jal board at which general public lives in adjoining areas. For private consumers like contractors and other installations and workshops, commercial consumers, canned boards and other bulk consumers, water charges will be charged at all in cost of rate of preceding year. Recovery of electric charges. For the service personnel residing in canned military areas, to be charged at prevailing rate of recovery by local state electricity board or electric supply agencies, that is rates at which general public is living in adjoining areas. For defense civilians residing in canned military areas, to be charged as per the prevailing rates of the local electricity board. The same is the case for private consumers like contractors and other installations and workshops. They will be charged as per all-in cost rate of the preceding year. What is all-in unit cost? To prepare all-in unit cost, it is the responsibility of AGE&M or E4 section. All-in cost rate is obtained by dividing the total all-in cost of operation of the installation by the total quantity supplied per annum, that is purchase cost of electricity, taxes, FC, FCA, maintenance cost, plus salary of the industrial persons involved for providing electricity and water. From such reports, all India unit cost is obtained. Return of recovery. Return of recovery for electricity is prepared monthly on IAFW 2218. The same is sent to AAO by 2nd of every month. For recoveries from civilian, the same needs to be sent to the paying officer for recovery, the same way as license fee. Private consumers, shopkeepers will be billed on IAFW 2217. The same will be forwarded to units concerned for effecting the recoveries. All payments by the private parties are made through the unit concerned. Recovery from JCOs and other ranks. JCOs and other ranks and their equivalents will be provided rent-free accommodation, furniture, and electricity. The same was in practice till 2005. Thereof, however, the free consumption of electricity and water were discontinued. Orders have been issued giving details of the methodology of recovery of such charges from JCOs and other ranks. MES to undertake meter reading and initiate the consumption details to AO BSO. Further, AO/BSO sends these consumption details to concerned PAO affecting the recovery. Wherever the meter readers are not available, provision for outsourcing the task of meter reading is possible. Where meter readers are unavailable, the station commander has to initiate immediate action for sanction of work services. Meanwhile, the Board of Officers to fix average consumption and amount recoverable from the occupants. Recovery of license fee and allied charges. Recovery of revenue and other charges is most important duty of the Barrack Super Services branch. Revenue not recovered is considered as loss of public money. Action is to be initiated in such cases as per rules to regularize such losses. Losses may occur due to a number of reasons. The primary reasons for non-recovery are omission in delay, rendering the occupation reports, recovery of electricity and water charges, statements of furniture hire, hire of fans, refrigerators, etc., assessment of taxes and other charges as applicable. Failure to carry out meter reading or raise bills on time by BS staff, inability of BSOs to recover from unit employees, wet canteens, shops due to intervention of station headquarters, non-enforcement of security deposit by private consumers. Unit commanders are responsible for effecting recoveries of dues from tradesmen and other contractors. Powers vested with the MES for recovery. MES should cut off electricity and water if bills are not paid within stipulated time of 15 days for electricity or combined rent, electricity and water, and 30 days for water. Staff should file suits for recovery or initiate eviction process against defaulters. Recovery at 1/3 mess maintenance allowance from the officers' mess in arrears through CDA should be initiated. Recovery at 1/3 pension from retired officers, JCOs, etc. through CDA, OR or CDA officers should be made. Security deposit should be adjusted by the MES. No demand certificate not be initiated till officers vacate government married accommodation. No demand certificate for full period of contract in respect of ASC butchery contractor is obtained from MES. MES should initiate loss statement when arrears are irrecoverable and chances of recovery are remote. Revenue administration for regimental, private parties, commercial shopping complexes. Categories of private parties. The private parties can be categorized to regimental shops, private parties, commercial shopping complexes. Disposal of license fees from commercial shopping complexes. Complexes on defense land constructed out of public fund. The 100% has to be deposited with government treasury. Complexes on defense land constructed out of private funds, that is regimental funds. 50% of the rent and allied charges have to be deposited in the government treasury. Complexes run in reappropriated government buildings. 100% has to be deposited with the government treasury. Shopping complexes run in mixed buildings, that is reappropriated and private buildings. 100% of the rent and allied charges have to be deposited in government treasury. Thank you.